So OpenAI just dropped Sora 2 and the internet completely lost it. In less than a day, it turned into this mix of groundbreaking tech demo and absolute meme chaos. On one side, you've got Olympic-level physics simulations and cinema-grade video shots. And on the other, Sam Altman deepfaked into Skibidi toilet clips.
Skibidi toilet.
CEO in a porcelain spa. Skibidi.
This is Strategic Basics, and we're going to have a look at the breaking news story of Sora 2 just launching and what this means for you as a creator, author, YouTuber, etc. This just blew my mind, and the internet is blowing up with all these memes. Wow, it's just astonishing what this can do. So we can either be terrified or we can lean into it and see how it could help us make a bigger difference in our businesses and with our clients. Oh my goodness.
Actually is the first Sora model launched back in February of 2024. At the
So
time,
long ago.
OpenAI described it as kind of like the
puppy.
GPT-1 moment for video. It was the point where video generation stopped looking like a broken experiment and started showing basic behaviors. Things like object permanence suddenly working just from scaling up training. Now, Sora 2 is more like the GPT 3.5 moment. It is not perfect, but it is a huge leap forward. We are talking Olympic-level gymnastics, backflips on paddle boards where buoyancy and rigidity are modeled correctly, and even
Amazing.
triple axles on ice with the cat sitting on someone's head, and somehow the cat does not just glitch out. The physics do not always nail it, but compared to older models where a missed basketball shot would magically teleport into the hoop, here the ball actually bounced.
So now deep fakes are here. We won't even be able to tell reality from video. But the fun thing is, we can really lean into creating all kinds of videos. So that's kind of cool. So yes, does this make us irrelevant as creators, or does it give us superpowers? Time will tell.
Bounces off the backboard, the mistakes now look more like the mistakes of a real agent in the world. What makes Sora 2 such a big step is this deeper simulation of physical reality. OpenAI says it is about training models that really understand the world, not just for entertainment, but for the long game of building systems that could one day operate in the physical world. Robots, world simulators, things like that. And in terms of style, it is cinematic, it is animated, it is realistic,
amazing.
it follows complex, multi-shot instructions, keeps track of world state, and now it even generates synchronized audio, dialogue, and sound effects.
Wow, so maybe you could make avatars. It's absolutely amazing. And there's Sam Altman, whose likeness is popping up all over with many, many deep fakes, thanks to this. With TikTok, watch out.
That are freakishly good.
Today, we're announcing the Sora app, powered by the all-new Sora 2.
Now, OpenAI also added something called the Cameo feature. Basically, you can inject yourself, your friends, or honestly anyone into
Are
a
you
Sora
gonna do
scene
this?
with remarkable
Woo!
fidelity. It takes a short recording of your voice and face, and then you are dropped straight into any kind of Sora generation. They tested it internally at OpenAI before launch, and apparently employees were already making friends through Cameo remixes, which
This is totally going to go viral. That is amazing.
sounds fun, but also just the tiniest bit dystopian. And when it hit,
I'm a little bit worried about that. Would you jump on Sora? Have you downloaded Sora 2? Are you willing to have your face, likeness, and voice used willy-nilly? I don't know. I've got some concerns, but it's also pretty exciting.
it hit the public, it took about 5 minutes for Sam Altman himself to become the internet's favorite toy. People flooded X with clips of Altman stealing GPUs off Target shelves, trying to kiss users, turning into a Yu-Gi-Oh character, and even starring in full-on Skibidi toilet memes. Altman responded pretty calmly, saying it was way less weird to scroll through endless memes of yourself than he expected.
Yeah, but are you willing to do this? I don't know. This is pretty amazing. Oh my gosh. Back to the clip from AI Revolution. And as usual, all the links are in the description below. This is Strategic Basics, and I'm Aurora Winter, and we're looking at the breaking news story about Sora 2 just dropping.
But not everyone found it so funny. Some people immediately raised the question, is this just normalizing deepfakes? Because if your likeness can be thrown into any narrative, even if it is silly, at what point does consent stop mattering?
That is the really key question about consent, about copyright. Your brand is your most valuable asset, and your brand is your face, your likeness, your style, your being. So, no copyright? Okay. A little worried about that.
For celebrities and CEOs, maybe it is part of the job, but everyday users are going to get caught up in this too. And once a likeness spreads, there is no real taking it back. And the copyright side of this is even more explosive.
This is what I'm really interested in, the copyright side.
Hours of release, people were pumping out scenes straight from Cyberpunk 2077, Rick and Morty, Naruto, Disney movies, Studio Ghibli, you name it. OpenAI's policy is that copyrighted material is included by default unless rights holders opt out.
Ooh, that seems a little dubious. That's not how copyright usually works. I'm an author and I help authors publish books, and your intellectual property is a huge asset. So what does this mean? This doesn't seem like very good.
That is a total reversal of how copyright usually works, and experts are already calling it a corporate license grab. Ruslan Volkov, an AI developer, flat out said if copyright flips from opt-in to opt-out, then copyright law basically stops existing.
That's the end of copyright law. That's, wow. How can that be? How can they just grab everybody's copyright?
Others pointed out how impossible it is to fully opt out anyway. Pirate libraries scrape everything. If you have ever put something online, odds are it is already in someone's data set. So you have got memes of Altman, you have got full-blown anime remixes, you have got copyrighted franchises being recreated on demand, and of course, the internet immediately tested the NSFW boundaries. Within hours, there were Sora-generated sex toy commercials with glossy cinematography, toga parties labeled Sora Bacchanalia with wine pouring and doll-like nudity, and even sim-style scene overlays from well-known jailbreak.
Fast.
OpenAI did put in restrictions around sexual content, graphic violence, extremist propaganda, and self-harm, but the filters are far from airtight. People have already found weird loopholes. For example, you cannot get a bikini scene, but you can generate yourself smoking 10 fat blunts in the office, no problem. Crack.
What is it about people? They're always wanting to press the boundaries. Oh my gosh. This is going to be very interesting to watch how this plays out over the next weeks and months.
Smoking, though, that gets blocked. All right, now, we've been talking a lot about AI tools that save. Cultural chaos of Sora 2's launch almost overshadowed the fact that this is not just a model drop, it came packaged as a full iOS app. The app itself looks and feels a lot like TikTok. You get a For You feed of shorts.
Watch out, TikTok. This is going to be just amazing. TikTok's so viral, but this takes it to the next level. Deep fakes, though.
Rollable AI videos featuring your friends, influencers, or whoever people throw in as cameos. During sign-up, you are asked to create your own digital likeness by speaking a few numbers and turning your head. So the app records your face and voice. Then you can control who is allowed to use your likeness. Everyone, just your friends or nobody.
True?
And whenever someone generates a clip using View, even if it just sits in their drafts, you can see it on your account page. Wired tested it and found that most of the early viral clips were Altman. Again, him stealing GPUs, him pleading with security guards to let him keep them, even Altman walking into a South Park episode to chat with Eric Cartman. The voice synthesis and character recreation are scarily good, though sometimes buggy.
You want answers? Fine, I'll give you answers. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
In one clip, Cartman's whiny voice accidentally came out of Altman's mouth.
Wow, this is just amazing. Let's take another peek and see another clip at what's happening with Sora 2.
So last night I downloaded an app that blew my mind, and it's called Sora. And I don't say that casually. I'm not trying to be an AI thought leader who's like, holy crap, the new model is so unbelievable. They just changed the game. No. This app was weird. Weird in a way that hasn't settled yet.
That's a great podcast, My First Million. So, whoa. Yeah.
Another game-changing thing I need to go learn, do, try. Oh my God, am I irrelevant now? Am I super powerful or irrelevant? I can't tell.
So does this make us super powerful or possibly irrelevant? I don't know. Time will tell. Let's have a look at some other creations with Sora 2.
You're wide open! Yeah! Me! Ah! Me! Ah!
Just one.
You're finished, Shinigami. Like hell I am! Zero! Getsuga! Tensho! I'm not done yet!
Wow, so you get the flavor of it. It's like, that's what people have created in just a couple of days. So my goodness, I hope you enjoyed that. Honestly, I don't really know what to think. Is this an era of deep fakes where we can't even trust our eyes anymore? Are people's identities and copyrights going to be stolen and infringed upon? Is this going to just be crazy making? Or is this kind of like a toy, like TikTok, that's fun and not really a serious threat to humanity, creativity, copyright, and intellectual property? I don't know. I'm worried. I gotta say, I'm worried. But I'm also leaning into it because it is fun to create videos. And we'll see you on the next video.